Is my audio working? Can you hear me when I'm talking? Thank you. Thank you, Wes. So this is going to be, I don't know what this is going to be. I have installed this CLI and we're going to try the first command. So I guess it looks like it created a directory and some files. So they want me to install Minitest and then try to run the file. And so we will try to do that. Cool, so that was quick. Ruby hello world test, and we got an error. No surprise there. We got a worse error than what it was expecting, I think. So this is correct. I'm going to remap my leader A to save the file and run Ruby against this file. Okay, so now we can run that with actually having to leave Vim. Looking for a file named hello world, doesn't exist. Hello world.rb. Cool, file exists. And it failed. Couldn't find hello world test. Next error, define method test say hi. And analyze constant hello world. Wait, hello world test is over here. I'm looking at the wrong thing. So the error is down here. Test say hi. That is correct. Oh, it wants it on the class. Wow, am I confused or what? Let's see. Not used Minitest before. So we have a class, and here's Minitest test. Define test say hi. Oh, the method name is hello. Expected hello world. We shall give it hello world. And passing test. Now what? That took long enough. Let's see. Available exercises. Hello world. And include color. We don't need that. Okay, let's see. Don't do that. Don't do that. My command T is broken, so it's trying to scan my entire home directory. Don't do that. Okay. Getting started. Oh. Exorcism. Submit. Hello world. It's been submitted, and we have a link here. Baylor has done it just now, and I guess it's being processed. Okay, we'll just go on to the next one. We'll just assume that's correct since I think it is correct. So the next step after doing that, I think we just keep running fetch Ruby. So we shall do that. And we're going to the hamming problem. Running, I did that again. Let me resize this and just kill that. This is called hamming distance. It is found by comparing two DNA strands and counting how many of the nucleotides are different from their equivalent in the other string. And so it's two strings, I assume always of the same distance or length. And it looks like it's just counting how many actual characters are not the same with the same index. So that shouldn't be too bad, actually. So, same thing as before. What we'll do is we'll remap leader A to save all. Well, we don't really need that. And we're going to run Ruby against hamming test RB. Oh, not very good. Run it again. Okay. No such file, hamming test. It would help if I could spell hamming test. And no such file, hamming. Shall create it for the test. Hamming.rb. Run it. Okay, now I got to figure out how to read these. Okay, so it's up here. Uninitialized hamming class. Hamming. Run it again. Test empty strands. No, method is compute. Define self.compute. I assume it is class. It is. It looks like it takes two arguments and they're not named args. They are just two strings, A and B. A, B. And expected 0 got nil, so 0, satisfy the first test. And expected 0, they should have gotten 0. Expected 0 got nil. Hamming test line 8. Oh, they're defined, they're set to skip. I bet that's wrong. So that's what the S is standing for. And in our spec, it would put a, what does it put? I know they're that gold color. Alright, there's probably a faster way to do this. How many are there? Let's run this again. Okay, now we should actually get more failures. We don't. 15 skips. Expected 1. Okay, so now we're not skipping tests, and we're actually getting errors. And so this one happened on line 53. Is the seed always the same? No. So the way mini-test works, as far as I can tell, is it actually runs the test at random. If there's a failure, it just stops. Oh, no, it just gives me the full stack trace for every error. Okay, well, let's just actually implement this. So we have A and B. So we'll return 0 if A equals B. That's a given. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're just going to go through A's, all the characters in A. So A.split.each. Actually, if we map with index, that'll give us a character, which we'll call A character, AC, and an index. And we'll keep up with a count, start with 0, return count at the end, and then what we'll do is we'll say count plus equals 1 if the B for the index of I does not equal AC. That did not work. Map with index. Well, we don't need a map now anyways, we'll just do each. Disallow first strand longer, line 73. So expects an argument error. Okay, that's easy enough. Raise argument error if a.length does not equal b.length. And test large distance, line 63. Count plus 1 if b at the index is not equal a at the index. Is that how many tests failed? They're all failing. Single different positions, line 58. So time to debug. Oh, it thinks the variable is b. String A, string B. Wonderful variable names. Absolutely wonderful variable names. So AC in this case, oh, that did not split. Oh, I feel like an idiot. You have to specify what we're splitting on. It doesn't immediately split. Okay, so that actually fixed it. So that should have worked all along. Wow. Apparently, I am not as good at these as I thought I was. We'll just go ahead and try this. To submit that again was this. Okay, so that submitted that, and then we'll take a look. I don't know how to use this. Can I see my submissions? Oh, I have a comment on it? That would have been interesting. Although I don't... That's interesting. But there is probably a way to do that without actually... So I don't know if these are actually working or not. We'll just have to assume that they are. So we'll fetch the next problem, which I'm probably actually about to get into some serious trouble here because those moved quite quickly. Okay, so we'll create the file that it wants, gigasecond.rb. And once again, we are looking for a class. What does this look like? It's just from. Okay, class gigasecond. and notify method from, and it looks like it only takes one argument. So what does this do exactly? So this is the only one. Test date only, specification of time. What is a gigasecond? 1 billion seconds, 37.7 years. Okay, so is that what it's doing? Is that right? Okay, so we're going to say time in, and we expected the time, we didn't, so we'll just return back time in. See how this looks when it compares. Doesn't really show anything. So what we want to do is we want to add 10,000 or 10 to the 9th seconds. Is that what it's doing? Always? I want to do active support, but I don't think that works. It's probably going to fail. It doesn't have, yeah, no method minutes. I'm going to seal this. So, minutes. Although I guess I want seconds. Seconds. Also for seconds. Show. That's not going to be good. What happens if you add an integer to time? Does that add seconds? It appears to have added seconds. Okay, so is that all? Did I make it more complicated than it had to be? So far, that seems to be the answer. I don't understand the bookkeeping thing. I guess that was it. Wow. Here I'm thinking I actually have a real problem. All I had to do is just add. So how do I submit again? Gigasecond. Okay. So now we just fetch again and get the next one. And no such file. So I'm starting to learn this pattern. It's actually not, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Of course, I probably look like an idiot, but that's kind of to be expected. So it's looking for a method complement or complet. Yeah. Of DNA. N of A. So what is this? RNA complement of cytosine. Okay, let's take a look and see if this README actually tells me something that I need to know. Okay, given a DNA array, return its RNA complement per RNA transcript. Of course, I'm very familiar with this subject, so this should actually be a breeze. So there's only 4. No. 5. Given a DNA strand, its transcribed RNA strand is formed by replacing each of the nucleotide with its complement. So G goes to C, C goes to G, T goes to A, and A goes to U. Is that it? Then we actually have a real strand. So empty string, anything. So it only maps one direction, I guess. Is that the case? No. What is this? Because this could turn into something. Why does this not turn into something? Okay, let's just start at the top. Let's just start with a simple one. And it expects a G. So we'll give it a G. And we'll figure out how to write this in a second. Next test. Expected a G, or expected a C, but got a G. So we'll just say if strand, so we'll rename this. If strand equals C, then return back a G, else return back a C. Okay, passing test. And we have expected A. So where did A come from? A came from T. Else if strand equals T, then return A. That might pass. Expected a C. How did not get a C? Line 18. T should equal A if strand. Wow. As if though I have never written Ruby before. Okay. Everything has been forgotten. And strand equals A, then return U. I'm still concerned about this one. Okay, well that's a little bit easier. I think all we have to do is just go through each character and move them. Is that true? And we'll do private and define self dot move character, and we'll just put this down here, and we'll just say strand split on the space and map this, and we'll just take the character and call move character with that, and that did not work. Oh, and then we need to join that. Okay, so that passes those tests. That was simple enough. But what does this do? We probably need to do an else if down here as well. If it's a G. And expected image stream, but got a C. Did I not fix that with my news code? No. Let's see. Which one failed? Line 33. So given a U, it returned back a C. Oh, wow. That's always true. Okay, so that fixes that. And I didn't have to do, I thought I was going to have to compact that or something, but I don't. Now this is what I'm particularly concerned about. Not this one, this one. This one should do the same thing. That should just pass. It does, great. This one, however, incorrectly invalid input. What do I actually get? Oh, I see. Okay, so we just need to say converted equals that if and then how do we do this? We actually want to not actually do that, and we'll just say if the converted length. Yeah, so that'll get us an else, so we'll compact this, and then we can say if converted.length does not equal our strand.length, then return back empty string, else we'll return back converted.join. Run that again, and that's everything. So that was actually pretty easy. And I can never remember. Submit. RNA trans. I shall copy and paste. Okay, submit that. Check the chat. Cool. So now we are going to fetch again. And CD Raindrops. I'm not sure how long I've been streaming. Oh, about 30 minutes. So I'll maybe do 15 more minutes of this. Probably. That seems reasonable. Okay, so now this is the pattern for anybody that wants to actually play with this. This is what you do. You sit there and just call fetch, and I fetched all the files in my home directory again. Okay. And then you just open up the README. And also the file. And can't find the file. I should have read the README, but I chose not to because I don't want to yet. I want to run the file first and actually get my errors. So it's raindrops and the method is convert. Define class raindrops and it fails. Define convert. In, because I don't know what I'm actually looking at yet. And expected 1. This is interesting. Oh, this actually looks fun. So 1 converts. I'm afraid to do it the same way. Okay, we'll figure this out. But for now, we'll just make our first test pass by returning 1. Okay, perfect. Which actually looks more like n.2s. And that passes. Okay, so let's read this. If number has 3 as a factor, output pling, 5 as a factor, plang, 7 as a factor, plong. If it's not any of these, pass the straight through. Okay. Here we go. So what I will do to make this slightly more fun, so last time I did it all with ifs, this time actually what I shall do is just store this in a hash. So 3 is pling, mapping equals, and we'll say 3 equals pling, 5 equals plang, 7 is plong. And I think we probably start with the smallest. Do they do like 15? No, so it combines. So if it's both, okay, then it shouldn't be so bad. But we just need to get our first test passing, and then we can move on and actually run them all. So we have a syntax error. Oh, wait. Oh, I should probably do this. Okay. Expected 1, we got nil. So n.toString, pass the test. Great. Now we'll do the second one. So we have pling, but we got 3 as a string. Okay. The mini test is not as good as RSpec. At least in my opinion, it's not. So what I shall do now is, how do I want to do this? I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll hold on, because I'm taking in ints. So what I can probably do is say that I have my output, which will be empty string, which is what we'll output at the end. And then we shall just do a, what I'll do is I'll probably just have my in, which is just, I can't do that, that's already taken. Remaining equals in. So while remaining is greater than or equal to, we'll just start with greater than 0 to start with. And we will say remaining minus. So what we need to do is, I think what we need to do is say if any of these, I can't look at that. We'll just start the first one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these keys, try the first one. If it does have a factor, then what I'll do is actually just append this output and subtract this particular value. My concern is where I might be missing this is down here when I had 15. Might be missing that one. But we won't worry about that one just yet. We'll just start with the simple cases. Which, oh, I've started an infinite loop. Perfect. Remaining minus. So what we'll do is we'll say, I think I just want the minimum matching key. So we'll just say that we have mapping dot. Is that right? Now I gotta take a chair. I assume everyone can still hear and still see what I'm doing and watch me struggle as I think about how. Let's just start with not actually using the mappings first. We will just say that if remaining modulus of 3, then output is plus equal, well, at least for now I'll do mapping 3 like that, else output is plus equal our remaining toString. Is that right? And what we'll do is we'll say that we have x equals remaining, and in this case x equals 3, and then we'll say that remaining minus equals x. Let's see what we get. Expected 1, we got pling, and that was on line 8. So is that our very first one? It was. Wait, do I even have? Okay, that just makes it easier for me to see it. Is that right? Oh, that is true. Equals 0. Okay, so that passes both of those tests. Now we try this one. Oh, okay. So what I think what I'm going to do is actually just grab the maximum key that this fits. That doesn't answer the question whenever it matches multiple, but maybe I'm just overthinking that. Because maybe I grabbed the minimum. Maybe it is grab the minimum. Okay, so what we're going to try is, we already know our keys are sorted, so x equals remaining. This really can turn, if I can figure out x, I can push it up here, which then this will all take place automatically. I believe. That's the question. So what I should do is say mapping dot. Wow, it's been too long since I've just written raw Ruby. Let's think. Do I select? For those that don't know Ruby, select is like where in link. It's different in it has where in active record, but it's select in just raw Ruby. And select would be if I take what comes after n? O, so we should do O. I guess I need to do keys. And now we'll select like this. I'm just grabbing variables at random now. So what we'll do is we'll say our remaining modulus k equals 0. But we want the first, so we can do that first. And now that'll give us our actual key, so we can do x here, x here. We don't need that anymore. And I think what I can actually do on this side is just say remaining. And we got an error. Raindrops line 17. Oh, I hit X, but I didn't actually put it in there. Okay. No implicit conversion of nil into string in line 17. Let's think. Actually, what I'll probably end up doing here is saying, the easiest way to do that would probably actually just say that we have X. We know X falls back to remaining. Otherwise, it grabs the first output from this mapping hash that I have up here. And so what I can actually do for that is just say mapping dot fetch, and then we'll put in X and we'll fall back to remaining dot to S. Okay, so that works. Because what fetch does, well, I can show you. Ruby fetch. Fetch takes in the index or a key. This is on array, we want on a hash. Takes in the key, so in this case A is 100, so it returns 100, but if we try Z, which does not exist, then it returns back the string that I put in. And so that's what I'm cheating off of here, is that I know that I'm finding the first key that actually matches, which then gives me the number that I'm subtracting from, and then I'm using fetch here so I can fetch that key, and then otherwise I'll fall back to whatever the first argument was here, that if it doesn't match, then the number just goes straight through. So that was that. This one, I think will just work. Does great. This one, interesting. So mine is not going to work because mine's going to do probably like, what is it going to do? Pling pling. So I've obviously misunderstood this. So let me think. They're giving me 6, which does map, but the actual subtraction was for the entire value, which means that rather than actually doing it this way, we almost just need to say, because my concern is, the reason I actually did it that way to begin with is because of 15 matching both. And now my concern is, and this is where I'll really struggle, is I almost feel as if though I'm supposed to create all the combinations of this. Is that correct? I don't think that would be correct, but it seems like it could be. So what I'll do instead for this is, instead of actually doing a loop here, which now we don't need remaining, we just need in, and what I miss, remaining, we just went in. Okay, so that passes all those, but I'm not so sure that I'm going to be in the clear all the way through, and I missed that one. Here we go. Okay, so there's those. And this one, still passing, no big deal. This one, this is the one I'm concerned about. Okay, so let's think about this. And I'm going to just move these over to new lines. No, I'm not. I'm not sure I want to do that. So the easiest solution for that one would actually just come in here and say 15 is pling plang. Did I miss that? Oh, that needs to go to the top. Okay. So, oh, that one broke. Let's see what this one is. Oh, that's 5 and 30, or 5 and 7. Playing plong, I assume. So I think, oh, that one actually failed. Well, that's easy enough. I actually can just pling, pling, plonk. Okay. So I ended up solving this kind of the way I would solve Roman numerals if I was doing that, but this was the first one that I've actually done where I feel like if I handed this over to the website and they ran it, that they would find an error. I think that is very reasonable to suspect. Oh, and I missed this one, but oh no, I didn't. I got that one. So, okay, so that's that. So is that all the options? It might actually be. There might not be any more. And then for that reason, I shall just submit it and call it quits. So my first live stream, OP Studio says it was successful. What I'm curious to know is this thing, does it actually work? I don't even know. What is this? Profile. So these have comments, these don't. I wonder why. Oh, because didn't like I put conditionals. How did it feel about this one? Oh, I don't care. That's just a whatever. So I don't know how to use a site. One iteration. I guess that's because I've only submitted it once. So I'm just gonna have to assume that I passed this, and so for my first live stream, that I just knocked it out of the park. Yes, that is what we will go with. So this one I think could probably be refactored pretty easily, although the simplest code probably is usually the best code. And this one's pretty simple. So on that, I will close this stream. And for the people that watched it, I appreciate it. Thanks, and I will see you next time.